Hello guys, welcome back to Happy Science. My name is Jason and I'm very happy to share with you another episode of Master's Lecture. And this lecture I just watched is on About an Unshakable Mind by Master. And there's so many key points that I've gotten for this lecture. But because of this video, I will only keep it to 3 points. And the first point I want to mention is on the miracle of awakening to your true nature. So, Master mentioned a story when he was about 2004. He was feeling a little bit uncomfortable, and then he went to the doctor. And guess what? The doctor said to his wife that he was a dead man after he found out what the condition for Master was. And the condition was he had a bigger than average heart and both of his lungs is filled with water. So in those circumstances, most people will be dead. Only dead people are found with those conditions. So the doctor was informing his wife that be prepared. He might pass away at any time, you know. But the next day, Master was still up, and not only was he up, he was reading a biography of Shakyamuni Buddha. And not only that, he wrote 108, verses for the magazine, for the Happy Science organization, which is for the next 9 years to 12 years of operation for the magazine, monthly magazine. That is crazy. So Master was mentioning that, when you truly awaken to your true self, you'll be able to know that your body is only secondary. Your mind is the primary. And this is point number 2. Because we're a spiritual being. This physical body is simply a vehicle to carry our soul in order for us to experience what we need to experience, in order for us to accumulate those experiences and turn it into lessons that can nourish our souls. And what does it mean to nourish our soul? Is to radiate a brighter light so that though that light can turn into hope, can turn into impact and contribution and love to the world that you live in, and to a smaller scale, to the family you live in, to the community you live in. So when we awaken to ourselves as a spiritual being, it doesn't mean you got to be a savior. It just means that you're able to provide greater value because of the growth and light that you're able to shine, so that you can benefit those around you and make them feel better, positive, and joyous. And they feel better because you're here. And that is why people don't remember what you say, but they always remember how you make them feel. And that is the power of spiritual awakening. That is the power of awakening our true self. And this is point number 2. When we put our mind first and our body second, then we're living with the right order. Then we're able to contribute to the world and to the people around us with the core value of who we are. Then we are living with why we're born on earth in the first place. So this is point number 2. And the third point I want to talk about is the third point is Master mentioned about we all have an unpolished and unrefined diamond within. And this comes to show to us the equality of God's love. Because if we are all spiritual being and having an unpolished diamond within, which means our Buddha nature is always within us, and there's a possibility for enlightenment for all of us. That is the equality of God's love. But there's a second part. Because it is unpolished, it means it requires work. It requires your effort to polish it so that it shines with a brilliant light. And that light that you're shining is enlightenment. So that is the second part of God's love, which is justice. So justice is that the more work we are able to put in to refining and learning the different lessons that our soul born into this body to learn, the more you acknowledge those lessons and turn it into light so that you can give greater love, the more you are putting in the effort to refine that diamond. And the more you're able to refine that diamond, the closer you are become to God. and that is the justice of God's love. So, first, equality. We all have a diamond within. Second part, even though we all have diamond within, but it's unrefined, so we must put in the work to refine it. That is why with great power comes great responsibility. And to attain great power, it requires great effort. So that is the last point. And before I conclude this today's video, I want to say that Master is the master of masters. He is the one that is guiding Jesus during Jesus' 3 year of, preaching and conveying the truth. So in just a short little amount of 3 years, Jesus was able to influence millions and billions of people. The reason behind that is because there's a spiritual force. So just think about it and ponder upon it. And Master is saying that he's the master of masters. And because he's the master of master, how blessed it is for us to be able to witness him live. So if you're in Toronto, Master is coming this October, and be enthusiastic, and remember to check out your local temple to find more about information. We would love to invite you with an open arm to this once in a lifetime opportunity. And also, Master conclude the entire lecture by saying that study harder, work harder, and always keep an unshakable mind at all time, because our natural instinct of this physical body is to be lazy, to procrastinate, to stay in the comfort zone. To study harder, to work harder, to remain an unshakable mind means that you gotta put your goal first. You gotta put your mission first. Even if you're tired, step outside of your comfort zone. Motion creates emotion. Use your knowledge to put yourself in a good state, and always go after your mission no matter how you feel, because successful people always say you don't do it because you feel like it. You do it even when you don't feel like it, because your mission is more important than how you feel. So with that, I will love to meet you in person, and if you're not in Toronto, then all the best. Have an amazing day.